The hardest marriages for women to leave are often when they are married to husbands who are good guy presenting. And I want to explain this to you because these husbands, they don't yell, right? They don't cheat. They don't disappear. They show up when they're supposed to. They will help if you tell them exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it every single time, right? They're not necessarily abusive. They're not really chaotic. They're not necessarily scary and having, huge outbursts. They're literally just there. And I think for so many women, this is what makes it so hard to name and so hard to leave because nothing is technically wrong, right? But nothing is deeply right either. Like, he doesn't proactively make your life easier. He doesn't anticipate your needs. He doesn't carry the mental labor with you. He just sits there waiting for instructions, like a puppy dog waiting for a command, right? And when you're exhausted and you're resentful and you're already drowning, this will make you feel like you're crazy because you have friends whose husbands are way worse than that. You've seen the horror stories. You've seen the TikToks. You know that worse guys out there exist. And your husband isn't necessarily like that. He's a good guy, right? But good guy presenting isn't the same as being an engaged and invested and a participative partner. Bare minimum behavior wrapped in politeness is still bare minimum. And what makes it so fucking draining is that you can't point to one big thing. It's not like one big thing happened in your marriage. It's literally death by 1,000 paper cuts. It's that you're not considered without asking. You're never relieved from your duties without delegating to him first. You're never being prioritized without being prompted or reminded. And then you start wondering if you're crazy. You start wondering if you're asking for too much, wondering if you're just too hard to please, if you'll never be happy. But you're not asking for too much. You're not too hard to please. You are literally asking for partnership, but you're getting this passive participation and you're being expected to tolerate it because it could always be worse. The hardest marriages for women to leave are often when they are married to.
That's enough of you. So I'm going to tell you like ChatGPT says, I'm going to hold your hand real tight when I say this to you. Shut your dumb butt up. Shut up. What are you talking about? Good guy presenting? What the heck is that? Look, all that therapy, and this is the nonsense that you come up with. All that therapy. See, this is what I'm saying. You can't trust people like this. Why do I say that? I'm not trying to be rude respectfully, but I say that because we come up with so many terms and excuses as to why we about to do the wrong thing. I mean, you can literally come up with an excuse for anything. Literally just make anything up and be like, you're. So what's the problem? You can't point to one. And where you're about to go, you don't need to be there. You about to go down a path where you make something up that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Because, am I crazy? Yes. Yes, you are crazy. You're doing this to yourself. For somebody that's literally just trying to exist in their skin, you're watching them, plotting on them. You are a predator. That's what you are. You're a predator. Why are you watching that man enjoy his life in peace and quiet? Oh, but he's not doing anything. Why should he always be doing something? For Christ's sakes, the man just wants to sit down and relax. Why are you bothering him? Go find a seat somewhere and you relax. Nobody's telling you. You get so mad. Sometimes people get so mad at other people because those people have learned. And that's the beauty about marriage. When you make stupid assumptions like this, you're doing it to yourself. Sometimes instead of just asking and using your words and communicating, I don't want to have to tell you. That's what communication is, idiot. That's what communication is. Yeah, but you don't get it. No, you don't get it. Communicate. Hey, babe, how can we structure this? Because I feel like I'm drowning. The man doesn't know that you feel like you're drowning. He might feel like this is what she does. I didn't ask her to do this. I didn't want her to do this. Maybe I feel like she's going over the top, but I'm sitting here in silence because I don't want to tick her off. I don't want to make her mad because what you're doing is, and what you're not accounting for and explaining is that you've made yourself the boss and the leader in the relationship and nobody even asked you to. And so now you're taking on a weight and a mantle that no one asked you to take on. You took it on yourself. And now you're looking at him saying, well, he's a good guy. I can't figure out if there's anything wrong, because there isn't. This is a person who's probably just sitting there, minding their business, saying, I've been at work all week. I don't want no problems. I'm just trying to decompress from work. I'm just trying to sit here and watch the game. Man can't even sit and watch the game in peace. Been at work all week. Can't even sit and watch the game in peace. Kids running around, and because the kids aren't doing what you want them to do. You got to remember, we come from two different households. We were raised different. How I respond to kids might be different from how you respond to kids. How you clean the house might be different from how I clean the house. There's always going to be one of you who is more strict than the other, and one who's more flexible, because you come from two different households. And you find that out when you get together and you're married for a little bit of time, and the fairy tale goes away, and you learn that you actually have to put in the work to love someone. It's good when they can get up and do something automatically and do things without you having to ask and clean, but they don't know what you want. They ain't doing it because of you. They're doing it because this is just what they wanted to do. But that's not always it. It's not going to be the case a lot of the times. A lot of times they're going to come home and say, man, I'm tired. What do you want to do? What's going on? What's the deal? Man, I heard somebody say, I heard a lady say that her and her spouse do is, depending on where they are during the week or whatever, they quantify sort of their capacity for things, especially romantically and for love. One week, she said she might come in and say, I'm at 50%. Got it. So anything that happens the rest of this week, I understand why you're doing it, because she's in the 50% space and I know what 50% looks like. And he might say, I'm at 80. I can take over this and that, and we can go from there. Communicate. But if you sit back and do this nonsense, this stupidity, sitting back watching this man getting an attitude for no reason, you only doing it to yourself. That's not a way to live. Dumb. Just communicate and say, babe. And without coming up and barking at him, say, babe, I'm at 50%. Can you take over? Why? They're his kids. I shouldn't have to tell him to do what he's supposed to do. Shut your dumb behind up. Communicate. Going back to my original point, that man might see you and wonder, why is she doing all that? Just put the kid down. Let him play. But if he plays, then he's going to have to. That man might be like, babe, when you're not here, I set him down and let him roam. Did you ask me that? No, because you're too busy trying to find a reason to be mad. And that's on you. Sometimes, and I've seen it before, people work themselves into anger and resentment. Nobody did this to you. You worked yourself into this, especially if you have a good partner and you can't find a reason why you should have a problem. It's you. You're the problem. It's your toxic mindset that's creating a scenario and a problem that does not exist. Let a good person exist in a good space. Why are you trying to come in and interrupt their good space? That has nothing to do with love. That's you trying to control a relationship, and you get mad when you try to control. You got do what I tell you to do. To get up and walk around. No, what are you doing, idiot? He's trying to exist in a space. Could be a lady, and you coming around. Man, all you do is sit around the house and do such and such. All they're doing is sitting in a space. If you just ask them politely, they may not even know. You should want to see your partner living a soft life. So when you walk up, and it's not to say that they should never be doing anything. I'm not saying that. But if you walk up and you see them just kind of chilling, you be, what you over there doing? Oh, I'm just over here looking at these, these boots or something like that. I want to buy these boots because I think they go well with this dress and this, that, and the third, and so on and so forth. Man, that's what's up, blah, blah. Instead of being over there putting up the Christmas tree, sitting over there not doing nothing. How are we going to have a good holiday if you don't ever help me? Every single time I go over here, you literally see me coming over here to the Christmas tree to put it up, and you don't even offer to help. Because they may think you got it. Or they might be trying to finish up something, and then they're going to come in 2 seconds. But you put it up so fast so you can have another notch on your belt loop to say that they didn't do what they were supposed to be doing. Man, shut up, man. You're looking for problems. Life can be so much easier. Life can be so much more, so much less difficult. Just let people be. Man, you should love to see them relaxing and as much stress as they go through on their jobs and in the world and dealing with people. You should let people just exist in the space of whatever they're doing. They might be retreating to a space that feels great for them. Don't just come over. I heard a woman say, don't just come over and just drop things on people. I heard a woman say, and you had idiots agreeing with this, talking about when I see a couple come to the restaurant, to my restaurant, I drop and they bring up the high chair. I drop and whatever. I move the high chair over by the dad to make him work. Hey, look, that's the fastest way for me to go off on you. That's the fastest way for me to go off on you. Because you who are a stranger, look, girl power, boy power, whatever you guys got going on, that's the fastest way for me to go off on you and not care. Because here I am, minding my business, existing in my space with the person that I love. You don't know what I do. You don't know anything about my relationship, and you've just now inserted yourself into my relationship. I'm sorry, that was kind of funny. I said asserted, and I immediately thought of Cam Newton in Eclectica. If you get it, you get it. But anyways, you've now inserted yourself into my relationship and thought to force me to do something that you assume that I'm not doing. First of all, you should assume that you stay out of my business. That's the first thing you should assume. Second of all, you have no clue what I'm doing. I might be a stay-at-home dad doing all the work around the house. I might be at home taking care of 2 kids instead of putting them in daycare. But while I'm at home, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm changing their nasty diapers, and I'm putting them to sleep, washing dishes, keeping the dishwasher on, keeping the washer and dryer going for clothes, keeping the house in good shape. Every time the toys go down, pick the toys back up, put them in, just to keep it real quick. You know, keep the beds made up, stuff like that. So, and I take pride that when my wife comes home, I take pride in, hey babe, let me get your shoes. Boom, put them up here. Hey babe, let me get your coat. Boom, put it up there. Hey, let me sit down for about 5 minutes. I give you 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm gonna massage your feet and stuff like that. How's everything? I got food on the stove. I might take pride in that. And while I'm doing that, the entire time that I'm doing that, I also have a work from home business. So that I'm also contributing not only with the kids, but I'm contributing to the household financially. And I'm trying to stay engaged. So when she has her day off, I say, hey, let's go hang out somewhere. So we can stay together. Because I know we got kids and kids can get in the way and they can ruin the bond if you don't keep it close. So let's just go to a park somewhere. Let's go get some ice cream and talk and chill and catch up and see. You don't know what I'm doing. And you've inserted yourself into my relationship. I'm going to go straight off on you in the middle of that restaurant. Just so you understand, don't you ever come over here and try to mess with me and insert yourself in my business while I'm sitting here. Come over here trying to disturb my peace while I'm sitting here minding my business, trying to take my wife and my family out for a nice little family date. And you come over here with this stupidity, playing these little childish, manipulative games with me while I'm trying to mind my business. I don't play that. I don't even know you. And you done came with some vendetta for me just because of my gender or whatnot. And you coming over here messing, girl. And you come over here with this stuff when this man is trying to exist and trying to mind his business with stupidity, looking over being resentful, and just said, I don't want to have to tell him. That's what communication is. Because as I was saying before, some people are just raised, it's like, he's looking at you wondering, why is she doing all that? And he might say, he's scared to say anything to you because you got an attitude all the time. See, sometimes you don't know how you're coming off and you think he's the problem when you're the problem. And he's saying, look, I don't know why you're doing that. I've told her, if I ask him, he's like, I don't know why she's doing that. I told her to sit down multiple times. I told her, babe, we can do that later. Or babe, I'm going to do that later. I was going to get to that. I just don't like the way it looks now. That's on you. If you want to fix it now, you can fix it now. But I'm not about to be forced to getting up and doing stuff on your time clock. Not about to do that. And you come with this stupidity Good guy presenting. How long? Because when you start saying that stuff and you take no accountability for saying stupid stuff, how long were y'all together before you realized that he was no longer for you? Because I'm confused. Because typically the signs are there. When you're dating, for sure, especially if you're dating for any sort of experience, extended amount of time, you gain experience doing that. You dating for three months, something like that, 4 months, 5 months, there should be, if there are red flags, they should be going off. And if things need to be discussed, you don't have to discuss them in a confrontational way. You can just talk. Hey, I want to ask about this. How do you navigate this, or how do you navigate this, or whatever? You got to remember, you're in a partnership. This is not an interview. You're not his boss, and vice versa. You're not each other's boss. You're in a partnership. You're in a relationship. Obviously, he's going to do things to appease you, and you're going to do things to appease him. We come together. Obviously, there's going to have to be some sort of compromise that we both kind of walk into. Oh, I can't do this because I don't do this because of my wife, right? I don't say this because of my wife. Vice versa. I don't say this or do this because of my husband. That's what you're working toward. But if you sitting over here, because even right now, I think she's married. Even right now, if he ever decides something's wrong or makes a mistake, he has no clue. No disrespect to the young man at all. He has no clue she's watching him. Because if you think like this, hey, buddy, if you don't mind it, that's okay. I'm not saying you do mind it, but I'm just telling you right now, she's watching you. Every little thing that you do, she's watching you. And sometimes you heap up pressure on other people to where they might say, oh, I don't just do this on a normal basis. I did this because I was just feeling in the holiday spirit, or I was feeling in the mood for the season. So I just did it, but I don't do this all the time as a reason to appease you and make you happy, because I'm not your slave. I do this because I want to do this. I do this because I want to contribute to this relationship in this way. And I don't expect that to be used as an example of what other people should or should not be doing. What we do together, there are some things that we do well together that, maybe people can pull from. And there are other things that we do terrible that other people should completely avoid. Like you tell me all about all your wins that you got going on, and you don't tell me about your losses. Don't nobody want to tell the losses. This stupidity. When did you realize that he was not so good anymore? Or because what you're saying is he's a good guy presenting. So is he a bad guy? No. What have you made up in your mind that now he's not so good? He's good guy presenting. What does that even mean? He's not just, but when you get, he's not necessarily, he's not abusive per se, but then what is it? But you got to tell him to do everything. This is who you married. Nobody forced you to marry him. This is who you married. Number one. Number two, can't you just communicate? Because what you might need to learn, see, this is the thing about iron sharpening iron. If you just open up your mind and learn to listen, you might come to realize that all of your ideas and the things that you do to yourself are stupid. Why am I doing this? Why did I do this to myself? I did this because, and that's what happens when you do things for other people. I got to take my kids to soccer practice, and I got to take them to this and that and the third. Man, I remember one of my, I think it was a professor of mine or something like that. And she said, my kids are interested in this, that, and third. And we try it out for a little bit, but we kind of say, hey, which one are you more interested in? Because I'm not going to be taking you all around the country. Pick something that you're interested in, because look, I understand your interests are vast, but we're not about to be going all around the country, just following behind you everywhere. I got stuff to do. And so you need to understand that life is not all about you. It's about other people as well. And that's the thing that you've set up in your mind to where you say, I'm doing everything that I can for my kids, and you sit up here doing nothing. We agreed that we would do everything for our kids. you agreed that you would do everything for your kids in this way. He may never have agreed to that. His agreement may have been, I'm going to do things for my kids in this way. This is what I grew up, what was modeled for me. This is a step forward for me in communicating this to my kids. Relaxing and chilling and not having anything to do is the pinnacle for me. And for you, it's allowing your kids to have a lot of experiences in this, that, and third. And he's happy to allow you to do that. But he does not want to be dragged into things in a full-on list that you have made up for yourself that you are now trying to project onto him and get mad when the list don't get done. That man just want to stay at home and mind his business on his day off. And you trying to give him a list of things to do when he's home. And you're like, well, I do it, blah, blah, blah. Nobody asked you to do it. Well, if we don't, things ain't gonna get done. He might be like, hey, if you don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. We have enough money. Maybe we hire somebody to do it. Oh, so it's still gonna get done. We could just have somebody come do it. We can see if we have any discretionary funding in the short term to pay for this. Oh, so that might solve your issue of needing the house to be clean 24/7, this, that, and the third. Hey, we might have some discretionary funds that we can use to pay a nanny, come take care of the kids because I'm tired. So I'm going to have a nanny come over, take care of the kids for about 3 or 4 hours so I can just let my brain relax. Maybe we need to pay for one for you, idiot. Just do that. Instead of making it hard on yourself, try to make it hard and making the entire house miserable. When you start, this is another thing that made me mad about what she said. I was supposed to end this a long time ago, but she getting on my nerves. Talking about, oh, he's just a little puppy dog waiting for commands. He's a puppy dog. And first of all, you like puppy dogs. I don't understand what the problem with puppy dogs is. You like dogs. All of a sudden, you don't like them anymore. Second of all, you become resentful because you became resentful. And when you start comparing, comparison is the thief of joy. Get your mind out of other people's stuff. The Bible says, don't compare yourself among yourselves. Why? Because when I start looking at other people, this is what you get. So you don't even know that you're already in error of just basic nature. Stop comparing yourself to other people and what other people are doing. Because there are some things that other people are going to get, some other things that people are going to do. Leave it alone. You're going to compare and say some people are worse than me. You're going to compare and say some people are better than me. Don't compare at all. Because you don't want to be at least stuff. At least I'm not. Another scripture in the Bible, they say when I think it was a priest praying by himself, and he said, because he was praying, and he was like, oh Lord, this and that, forgive me, blah, blah, blah. At least I ain't like them. The man in the middle of praying, a sacred act in the middle of praying, being petty, talking about somebody else. That's what you doing. Looking at other people. You got a beautiful home, got beautiful kids. I don't know if she has kids. You're married. You got a beautiful life. And you worried about what other people are doing. I'm just here to guide you out of. Girl, go sit down. Nobody asked you to be a leader of anything. Getting on the internet every day complaining. Oh, stuff that a good guy presenting or stuff that's really the bare minimum. It's not the bare minimum. Sitting down and leaving people alone and letting them protect their peace is the bare minimum. Me running around you doing your to-do list is not the bare minimum. Get away from me. Please, I'm just trying to chill. I'm just trying to chill and relax, and you keep bothering me. I'm just trying to watch the game and do a little grilling later on today. That's what I said in my mind I want to do on my day off. I want to grill a little bit and watch the game. Maybe invite some people over, maybe have a glass of wine with you later on. But I can't do that because you changed the mood now. Now I don't even want to go near you because of this nonsense. And you might see, that's what relationships are for. When you're able to let iron sharpen iron. You're going crazy because you're making yourself go crazy. Nobody's forcing you to go crazy. You're making yourself go crazy. Instead of just sitting down, if you just sit down, and you might learn, sitting down is actually pretty cool. It's actually pretty nice. I've been doing so much work, I haven't even had the opportunity to appreciate everything that I've done, that I've built. And when I sit down and appreciate everything that I built, I realize I might be doing too much. I've done enough. This is solid. I've been so hard on myself, and this is a personal problem. That's why I say how you view the world and how you interact with the world, and you say, I'm not doing enough. There are many times as an entrepreneur, I might say to myself, I might do 10 things in a day, and they are all pretty good and successful. Oh man, I just finished making some major edits to my book. I just finished making some major edits to my dissertation. That alone in a day is enough. Oh man, I just made several videos and I got this many shorts out for my content. That's enough. But somehow, some way, I let some negativity seep in. Oh, but you didn't go invest your time in your real estate business. Oh yeah, I didn't. How am I ever going to get wealthy if I didn't even do my real estate? And see, that's the problem. Every single day, I never have time to invest in my real estate. How am I ever going to get? And it just spirals from there. It's a big deal. And it's like, look, man, you worked on your dissertation. You worked on your book. You worked on your content. There's only so many hours in the day, and there's only so much time and energy that you have. You can't do everything. Push that till next week. Man, I was reading a book by this CEO I like following. Her name is Morgan DeBond. And man, she has a book. I can't remember the name of the book. Maybe I'll find it for you guys. But I want to find it. What I have? Books? Playbooks, yeah. And man, I was reading it and I need to get back to it too. Everybody want to text me while I'm trying to do something. Let me find it real quick for you guys. I got it. So the name of the book is called Rewrite Your Rules. And I don't know if you can see this. It's going to blur everything out. But anyways, it's called Rewrite Your Rules by Morgan DeBond. Founder and CEO of Blavity Incorporated. You should get it. And I say that because I think it's a good book because she talked about seasons of your life and seasons things that you can get to. And as a CEO, as a person, there's only but so much that you can get to in your time frame. And what she's complaining about, what this woman is complaining about, is about feeling exhausted because she's trying to do so many things and not able to get to all of them. And as you create more things, because if you do it here, you do it everywhere, and you pull him in to your lifestyle that he never asked to be a part of. I never asked for me to have to go over here and do all this. You put me on this list, and I said, because I love you, because you're my partner, I will help you. But I never asked to be your manager of this. I did it because I love you. But you thought it was the bare minimum that I just completely be engrafted into your life and stop what I'm doing. I can't do what I'm trying to do because I'm worried about what you're doing. But this is what we're doing together. No, it's not. Our kids can have a simpler life, but the way that you want them structured is up to you. We may say that, hey, let's talk about whether they go to private school or public school. You want them to go to private school. And I said, they're not going to take the bus. And that means that you work at 6 a.m. I work at 6 a.m. That means that, either one of us, we're going to have to try to figure out a way, and the school doesn't open till 8. That means that one of us is going to have to try to request a change in our work schedule and try to, take them for 8 and go in later, which means I'm going to get off later. It's going to create sort of like a conundrum because I get off later, but they still get off early. So who's going to go pick them up? So I'm going to have to take my lunch break to go pick them up and bring them back to work with me. All because you wanted them in private school. I wanted them in public school because that works better. And I said, hey, there's a good public school right around the corner. It's ranked a 10 out of 10. They have great programs, great this, great that. Maybe they should just go over here. And you don't want to do that because of your mindset and what you wanted the kids to go through, how you wanted the kids to grow up. That's the other side that people don't tell you. This is stuff that they wanted to do. And I got to take the L because you're yanking me into your life. I didn't want nothing to do with that. I don't mind helping you, but I didn't want anything to do with that. And then you get mad and you get resentful for something that you created. And then you say it's my fault. And then you get online and trauma bond with a bunch of people who have traumatized themselves. It sounds stupid, doesn't it? Because it is. It's dumb. No disrespect to you, beautiful young lady. Not calling you dumb. If it came off like that, I apologize. I'm just saying sometimes we get ourselves into the stupidest things when we can just sit down and rest and stop giving ourselves things to do, because that's how we see productivity. Sometimes productivity is just sitting and resting. Sometimes I go on vacation and I bring my laptop, and I love being on vacation, working a little bit, right? I love the idea of making money a little bit and then going out and playing in the evening. I love the idea of waking up, getting on my laptop a little bit, maybe putting my laptop, maybe going out to St. Thomas or something like that, and being on the resort and going out to the balcony, putting my laptop down, letting the wind and the breeze hit me and stuff like that, leaving the sliding door open and looking over the beach, man, looking over the indigo blue water. I love it. Sitting there typing on my computer, feeling good. That makes me feel good about myself. But later on, I love to play. But nobody's forcing me to work during my vacation. I'm doing that to myself. And how dare I put that on my wife to say, you're not hustling as hard as me. You didn't even bring your laptop. You could be working right now, but all you want to do is wake up and scroll on Instagram because it's vacation. My God, you're a fun killer. For Christ's sakes, lighten up. Take it easy. Man, all right, I could go on all day because this is dumb. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, take it easy.